Welcome to Mama's Space, a podcast wherein moms can relax, reflect, and connect with others through their stories and experiences. Being a mom is a challenging, beautiful adventure that shouldn't be navigated alone. Join me as I connect with fellow moms about their journey into motherhood. We'll get down to the nitty-gritty and chat about the joy, the tears, the mess, and all the love that comes with being a parent. Hello everybody, I'm your host, Brittany Miller, and you've tuned in to Mama's Space. I am nearly better, I hope. I don't think I've ever been this sick for this long. I feel like I even got over COVID quicker than whatever this virus is. So, yeah, goodness. But we are here and I have another conversation to share with you this week. This conversation, I get together with a friend of mine who's been living in London for nearly 2 years now. My husband and I were really close with her and her husband, and yeah, when they were living here, we saw each other regularly and had dinners and shared a love of board games, so we got to hang out and connect over that. But obviously, living abroad and all the change, we haven't been able to touch base properly in quite a while. So glad we were able to find time on the weekends when dads could be in charge and we could chat. So I'm really keen to get into this, and I hope that you enjoy. Cool. Yay! I'm so glad we can chat. Sorry for the technical difficulties to get you. But, I mean, there's always something, right?
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, I was trying to think when last we actually properly chatted. And it must have been a few months ago when we tried to do that WhatsApp call with the boys and the kids. And then, it couldn't last long because you had to go and I had to go. And so I'm glad we're able to just chat and catch up a bit. So for people who are going to be listening, why don't you tell everyone a little bit about yourself and your family?
I'm Simone, and my husband and I and baby Elijah, we're in London, from Cape Town, and Eli is just turned 8 months, so still new-ish, but also not into being a mom. It feels like it's been so long, but at the same time, it feels like it's like just yesterday. I think it stays like that for ages. I'm sure even for you, Haley's like 1.5 and coming on to 2 next year. Still probably feels like it was just yesterday.
Yeah. I mean, she's 19 months today, I think. And I was thinking we're closer to 2 than we are to 1.
I know.
I mean, it feels like, okay, I have blocked a lot of it out, but it feels like she was just a newborn the other day. But it's not. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And so you've been in London. How long have you been there for?
Almost 2 years. It'll be 2 years in October.
Okay.
Which is wild.
Yeah. I also feel like you moved the other day.
Yeah.
2 years. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. And how have you found adjusting there to how life was in Cape Town?
I think we lived 2 very different lives, like the version of us here and the version of us from South Africa, 2 very different people.
Okay.
One, because
in what
we
way?
now have a child, and being like a family with a child is totally different. Because I got pregnant, we'd been here like 4 or 5 months when I got pregnant. So it's just a totally different space to having tried trying for a baby back in Cape Town. And also job wise, I was teaching pretty much up until we left, and then now I'm a nanny here, so they switched the nanny and au pair terms. So
okay.
So a nanny here is like a more really qualified, lots of experience kind of person. Au pair is less qualified, live in, do more ad hoc.
Domestic kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
Okay. Interesting. It's weird that they completely like swap those
Yeah,
two
yeah.
terms.
Mm,
Yeah, and they mean something very different here.
yeah. And here being a nanny is like a career path. It's like you can have like you can be a nanny your whole life. Um,
Yeah,
whereas in
interesting.
South Africa you get like an in-between thing until you like find your actual job.
Hmm. And so you say life, obviously, you feel very different to how you were in Cape Town, and soon into your kind of settling in that you now have a son.
Mm.
Um, how have you found the adjustment to being parents? It's a big change.
Yeah. Um, I think for me, because I worked with children like from as little as like 3 months, um, for my whole working career kind of thing.
Hmm.
Um, I like I knew all the like theoretical kind of stuff, had some like hands-on practice.
Right.
So it wasn't um I don't know, it didn't feel like the biggest I see it's a very big change, but it felt like a natural change, if that makes
Hmm.
sense. Like
That's cool.
it was there and then cool.
Yeah.
This is just how it is now. Um
Hmm. Well, this is my own kid that I'm going to
yeah.
be looking after and responsible for.
Yeah. Well it is very different doing it on lack of sleep. So like
Hmm.
before I could always
Right.
go
I guess
home.
previously you would have worked, gone home, come back the next day. Yeah.
Exactly, like you have your full 8 hours of sleep. You can have your weekends.
Yeah.
Yeah, now it's just all the time. Um,
Hmm.
but he was a very easy, like newborn. We were
Hmm.
very lucky with his sleep and just everything in general. I had a very easy breastfeeding journey. And
That's great.
yeah, he puts on weight like a champ. Um,
Hmm.
and little chunky baby.
Crushing those milestones.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I almost feel like at the moment is a bit more difficult than um it was as a newborn for me anyway.
Okay.
Um,
Interesting.
like because so we've started weaning, obviously, so he's eating. At first, I felt a bit bad at first because I'd forget to feed him because like we started solids and I'm like, oh,
Right.
and then he
Oh, you forget to give him milk.
yeah, well, no, not milk.
Okay.
I forget to give him like actual food.
Oh, you're right,
And
right.
then he'd
Yes.
get hungry, and I'd be like, "Oh, well, okay, I'll just give you milk now because you're too hungry for me to go find something for you to eat."
Yeah.
Um, yeah, but just like having to when you go out, have like you have like now make sure you have a snack and make sure you have like 'cause it doesn't
Hmm.
just have milk, make sure you have a snack. Time all the naps around it. Whereas before, like when he was a newborn, you could just like kind of out and about, he'd just fall asleep wherever. Um,
Yeah. Feed him wherever.
yeah, feed him wherever. Didn't have to
Mm.
like the change of clothes in case he like, messes all over them or
Right.
um,
Yeah. All those
all those kind of
blowouts.
things. And he's crawling um,
Hmm.
and pulling up on everything. So you can't just like sit
It
there
also
and kind of
adds a new
watch
element.
them and
Yeah.
play with them. And like
Yes.
constantly, be like, oh, you're in the cat's water. Okay, you've got a handful of cat's food. Okay. It's mostly just the cat,
Yeah.
chasing the cat. Um, yeah,
Yeah. It's kind of a new level is unlocked when they become mobile and trying to like redecorate and repurpose things around the house and
yeah.
like making sure things are out of their reach and is it a safer space for them to be
And all the plug.
and they want to move around and yeah.
Yeah, so I don't even know what we can do. Like, so it's summer, so the radiators aren't on at the moment. But what do you?
Okay.
I guess
Of
the
course,
radiator
yeah.
cover that you get.
I'm sure there must be something for that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. But that's a whole new world. Um,
Mm,
yeah, just
yeah.
all the. And he just wants to be on me all the time because I'm the easiest thing to climb, and so
Of
just
course.
getting like just touched out so quickly
Hmm.
because
Yeah.
and now his hands have food on them or they have like food
Mm.
on them
Oh
or
yeah.
oh just everything.
I can tell you're gonna start going through a lot of like stain remover.
Yeah.
Whatever brand you go for, there's gonna be a lot of that in your future because
Yeah,
yeah, as you say, when eating food and then want to be on you, or they fling it around and then it goes on their clothes. And I mean, bibs and stuff help, but it's food will still get on there.
Yeah.
And then even if you like put stuff on it straight away, there'll still be marks. It's just, I
I
feel like you
know.
can't get attached to cute clothes once they start getting mobile because
No.
your cute outfit will very quickly be stained with something that you didn't even realize could stain.
Yep. I tried blackberries for the first time when he was like just
Okay.
starting out, and I just got
Yeah.
absolutely everywhere. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna wait till you're a bit older to give you blackberries. Again, we can stick with like the blueberries and the strawberries for now.
Hmm. Yeah.
That was just a huge mess.
Hmm. Yeah. So has him being more mobile, you say, has that been the most like challenging thing?
Well, I think
Because you said it's been feeling like harder now that he's a bit older.
so. Well, obviously his sleep's changing. I think everything's just has like in the past 2 months, everything's just there's been so much change. Um,
Mm.
and it's happened so quickly that you don't have time to kind of catch up to where they are and like set
Right,
a
yeah.
new routine or a new like kind of normal um
Mm.
because they just the next thing's happening, the next thing's happening, the next thing's happening. I mean, since he turned 6 months, it's like been eating, and then you got to eat more, and then you got to make sure you balance the food and you giving him the right
Mm.
things, and then now he's got to eat more meals a day because he's hungry more. But and then his naps change. Now he's on 2 naps, and then like
Mm.
how now he's sleeping less at night, so now I've got to readjust the daytime naps because I've got to figure out
Right,
that
yes.
like, if he sleeps too much in the day, he's not going to sleep at night. Now he's waking
He's
up
not
at
gonna
5 in the
sleep at
morning
night. Yeah.
because also the sun gets rises so early here,
Mm.
and it
Okay.
sets so late.
That also that won't help with them sleeping in a little bit.
Exactly.
Mm.
And then like these past 2 weeks, he's been waking up really late. And so I'm like, well, so I have to adjust your sleep again. And
Mm.
then I adjust it, and then the next day he wakes up early, and then I'm like, okay, I don't understand what's happening.
Yeah.
Oh, oh yeah, I'm just trying to do it all, and like because he's moving, like you can't just like put him there, make your dinner. Okay, okay,
Mm.
like are you? And we still haven't
Yeah.
like completely baby proofed our house, so
Okay,
we're
right.
still kind of. So he was moving. He's been crawling. He's just in the past 2 days started like crawling on all fours. So he's
Okay.
been like
Yes.
worming. He could go really quickly, but he didn't like adventure out of one room. But now he's like
Hmm.
going out and towards the stairs and
Right. And you kind of like cook with one eye on him and one
yeah.
eye on the food. And also he'll be big, so keeping him in the carrier also isn't really an idea
No,
because
and he moves
you
too
also can't
much.
see because you're
Yeah,
trying
yeah, yeah.
to cook with the
He
kid in
moves
front of you.
far
Yeah.
too much. Because also if I don't let him crawl around, run around, not run around, crawl around, like just do whatever he needs to get his wiggles out, otherwise he won't sleep.
Hmm. Mm.
Um, because compared to all the other, not compared to, but obviously you can't compare your children, or you shouldn't compare your children. I know everyone does anyway. Um,
Yeah, it's
as
hard not
much
to.
as you try not to. He's a low sleep needs baby. So people are like, oh, my child sleeps like 12 hours through the night and then they still have their daytime nap. Like, if he sleeps 12 hours through the night, there's not a chance he's hardly going to sleep that day.
Hmm.
He sleeps like
Yeah.
9, maybe 10 hours at night, and then he'll sleep like 3 hours in the day, and then
Okay.
that's his
Well,
sleep.
that's not too bad in terms of like a total sleep in a 24-hour
No,
period, but
but
I guess you kind of it's yeah, it's tricky because you're like, do you want them to sleep longer in the night? Would you rather them have like good day naps because then you
yeah,
can have some time to do what you need to do and some downtime? Or like, I don't know, what's
yeah.
better?
But like I tried decreasing his daytime naps, but then he's just tired during the day, and then he still doesn't sleep well at night,
Mm,
and then he was overtired during the day. Um,
yeah.
but because he only sleeps 9, 10 hours at night, um, that's like how much time I'd like to have, like
Mm,
to like wind down and then like wake up. So like
yeah.
every hour you're going in, like after he's gone to bed, you're like, I'm only getting like 8 hours of sleep. Okay, now I'm only gonna get 7 hours of sleep. I'm only gonna get 6 hours of sleep.
I know.
Ugh.
I think a lot of women would be familiar with that feeling of like you get them down and you're like, okay, like when, because I mean, you probably go to bed quite late, and then it's like, okay, well, I don't have much time for me, for my husband, for a shower, for anything. And it's like, if I use time now, then I'm like subtracting sleep opportunity.
Exactly.
But then if I don't have time now to decompress, I'm just gonna be grumpy and tomorrow will be harder. So it's so hard to find a balance between like
Yeah.
time for yourself and rest.
Yeah. Especially also like he goes to sleep between like 8:30 and 9:30. So it's not even
Okay.
because, well, I could shift everything earlier, but then he'd wake up at like 5. And
Yeah.
to be honest, I'd rather wake up later in the day than
Yeah.
go to sleep earlier.
Yeah. I think I was similar with Haley then also. I was like, rather not be up at the crack of dawn, but have less time, once she's gone down to sleep for the night.
Yeah. Also
Yeah.
at night we have um our partners there to help us, which is not the case
True.
when it's like early morning they need to kind of get up, go to
They
work.
need to be going to work. Yeah.
Yeah. So it
Yeah.
does seem a bit easier when there's two of you managing a
Mm.
little baby at night instead of
Yeah.
early in the morning.
Mm. Totally. How do you find the days and being home with him while dad's out?
Well, so Mike works from home most of the time. Um, he goes into office kind of when they ask him to, which is not very often.
Okay.
Um,
That's cool.
I think he has to go in once a month. Um, but most of the time he's working from home, which is quite nice.
Mm.
Um,
Okay.
but we're really lucky here in London that we have lots of baby groups, free ones and paid ones all around really close by. So
That's
we
cool. That's
do,
great.
yeah, we have groups most days. Um, and
Sure, that's awesome.
so,
So you're getting out most days and meeting
yeah,
other
yeah,
moms and babies.
it's really nice because it's like a variety of things, and some of them are like optional. So, like the free one at the library, for example, you can kind of, if you feel like it, you can go. If you don't, then you don't
Mm.
go. Um,
Okay.
so it's a nice balance of um, like properly structured groups, and then
Yeah.
groups that you can go to if you feel like it.
Mm.
Um, yeah, and I've made some really nice kind of friends through them.
Yeah. Because I know you are an introvert like me.
Yes,
How have you found adjusting to getting out and having to connect and make conversations and be around other people?
yeah, it is quite daunting when you're like going to a group for the first time, and you don't know anyone, and um, you don't know if like because everyone's parenting style is very different. You're like how
Mm.
anxious you are with your baby, how cautious you are. They're all very different, and so and you don't know if other people are going to know each other or not. So, like either going to
Yes.
be
Like, am I the only
some of the
one
groups
who's
I've
not in
been
the
to,
know?
yeah, they're like very clicky. So,
Mm.
um, like at like those kind of groups, I'll be like, okay, well, I guess I'll just play with my baby and then we go. Whereas like some
Don't
other
leave me
ones,
in the
like
corner by myself.
yeah.
Mm.
Literally, that's some of them. But I've kind of accepted that because there's one specific group that I go to that everyone's super clicky. Um,
Right.
but it's a like a baby sensory class, and so I'm like, I'll just fully engage with Eli, and
Mm.
I'll go to other groups that I know are better for kind of socializing.
More connection.
Um, yeah, for more connection, exactly.
Mm.
And so I think it was definitely challenging at first, having to brave it and just go because you can't be stuck in the house every day, all day. Um,
Mm. It does crazy things to your brain.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And even babies get cabin feverish.
Mm.
Like it's
Especially
almost
when they're mobile.
yeah. Yeah. It's almost like having off and on again. Like give it a snack and take it outside. That's like the reset switch for a baby, basically.
Yes.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Sure. Well, I mean, I really commend you for getting out there because it is hard.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I'm glad you've been able to get out there and make some connections. Are there some of the moms that you've met that you keep in like regular contact with?
Yeah, there's a few that live like kind of around here that we're connecting with. I think that was especially important for us that we're just making those more deeper connections for
Mm,
people with babies similar ages because obviously, well, not obviously to people listening, but um we're in London. We don't have any family close by. Um,
mm,
my brother's an hour and a half from us, so it's not like he's just around the corner. Um,
yeah.
so just to make those kind of connections because there was no village for us. Um,
Mm,
we just had to kind of make it ourselves. Um,
yeah.
yeah,
And
which
how
is
have
a
you found
whole.
that the no grandparents and aunts and uncles close by? How has that been for you guys?
I don't know any different to be honest. So,
Okay.
um, like I'm sure it would be much nicer having people close by, and I do um like we miss our family, and it would be really nice. It's quite sad to have them so far away and missing out on so much of
Mm,
Eli's growth, especially when they're so small. Um,
yeah. Those changes.
yeah, but yeah, we don't know any different. It's
Mm,
just all on us.
yeah.
There's no one to just hand them off to. Um,
True. Yeah.
Although we do have quite a good community at church, and they've been really helpful. They're kind of our village, I guess. So
Mm.
that we had like
Surrogate family.
they made like a meal roster when Eli was born, and people brought meals around, and
Mm,
um, they'd help out if I like needed a shower, and
mm.
yeah,
That's
just
cool.
those kind of people are important as
Mm,
well.
yeah.
But again, those we had to make, had to find them. Um,
Yeah. And how have you found like you just had to kind of deal and navigate and lean on each other, you and Mike
mm,
leaning on each other for all the things that Eli needs and also each other and all that. How have you found it's affected your relationship?
I feel like it's a totally different relationship. Having a baby is a total game changer for marriage. Like
Hmm.
it's we've had to relearn like everything because we were in like you're just in such a rhythm that there's just because I mean we've been married for 7 years now, so for 6 years of marriage we just had a rhythm that we were just kept going in the way that
Mm.
we did things, and it's totally different now
Yeah.
because I'm not just available. Um, like we have
Yeah.
to work around Eli and
Mm.
um can't just go do whatever we need. Eli's as easy as he is, he until probably like the last month, he's just contact napped the whole time. And so
Right. Yeah.
um even during sleep time, like you have like nap time during the day where you could be doing things with each other.
Yeah.
We didn't have
But
that.
you
We still
can't.
don't really have that time. Um,
Yeah.
and so it's added a lot of, you know, pressure.
Mm.
Um, and so it's definitely not easy, on a relationship, having a baby. And I can
Mm.
definitely see how easy it is to just slip into, um, like roommate kind of,
Yeah.
kind of
Kind of a
relationship.
roommate
And
stage.
yeah,
Yeah.
which I totally
Passing
get.
by ships in the night.
Yeah. And you need to be super intentional about coming out of it because
Mm.
if you
Yeah.
don't, I can see how people just never connect again.
Yeah.
Um, because everything becomes about the baby.
Mm. Have you found you're able to, create little moments where you just like at least just keeping tabs on where you're at and like you say, like trying to be more intentional.
We've been trying to. Um, it's a constant journey, of
Mm.
kind of trying to get those moments, but I think we're slowly getting there. It's little
Mm.
baby steps back towards, um, having kind of more dedicated time with each other. We
Yeah.
have some family coming up later in the year. Maybe that'll provide some kind of opportunities.
Yeah.
Although Eli's going through separation anxiety, so
So yeah,
I
so
don't. Then they,
leaving him with family will be a bit tricky.
yeah, even though they're family. Um,
Mm.
yeah, so just kind of figuring it out, and now that he's able to sleep on his own a little bit more, trying to use those opportunities just to share with each other. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, and we've implemented
Yeah.
like a daily walk that because the sun only sets at like 9 p.m. here, so
Okay.
so after work,
That's late.
yeah, we can go for a nice walk around because it's super safe
Mm.
and you can just walk whenever you want. Um,
Yeah.
is
That's cool.
amazing. Yeah, yeah. So
Mm.
um, just little rhythms like that. That even though Eli's
Mm.
with us, he's in the pram, he's being entertained by the leaves and the birds and the stuff around us.
Yeah.
And you can
Yeah.
like
You can like
debrief
have a
and
conversation.
yeah, especially
Mm.
because Mike works from home, and so it's a good like reset. Like, okay, work time's
Right.
done,
Yeah.
now family time.
Mm. Yeah. What do you think surprised you the most about becoming parents? You know, like, if you, we all, I guess we all have like one idea of like what it's going to be like when we come into it, but then it's very different, you
Yeah,
know, once you're in it. Or what was the biggest shift or thing that surprised you?
I think the biggest thing has been Mike and my relationship. Like, I
Mm.
I knew it would be different, but like you don't realize how much the baby takes. I don't say takes away, but it is kind of the baby takes away the time and the
Mm.
intimacy and you just got to completely reshuffle everything.
Yeah.
Um,
And they're
and
physically needing you, and
yeah, yeah, um,
when you're breastfeeding, it's a whole other extra
yeah,
element.
exactly. So
Mm.
I think that was the biggest shock because as I said, I've had experience with doing the physical things, with being around babies, with playing with babies, with their milestones. So I
Mm.
knew kind of what to expect there, but um, and like I can do it all on my own, but having someone to share it with is different. Um,
Mm.
and it's just it's
Mm.
intense trying to navigate a relationship around a baby.
Mm. Yeah, it's a big shift, and I feel like there's no like easy fix or like do this and this happens. You know, like
Yeah, yeah,
eight
exactly.
things will be better. I mean, there are things you can implement, and then there'll be seasons where it's harder, and then seasons where it feels a little more comfortable and
Mm.
better rhythm, and then they change, and sleep changes, and it all changes again. You kind of
Yeah,
have to be fluid, but I guess yeah, just making sure you're keeping little moments really is just keeping tabs on where each other's at. So I'm glad you're able to
yeah,
go for those walks, just like check in. Because I mean, Simon also works from home, but it's very different. Like you know they're around in the house somewhere, but
mm.
it's not like you can be, hey, I need a shower, or hey, this, you know, can you
Yeah,
do this, or you know, it's a weird dynamic when they're so close by, but you can't actually like count on them or ask them to do stuff unless it's like lunch or they've come to say
yeah,
hi quickly or whatever.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
it's you
I think the
just
biggest
you're
difference
on.
with Mike working from home is the travel time in the morning and the evening because it
Hmm.
takes him about 40 odd minutes to get into work and traveling on the
Sure.
tube on the underground in London is so taxing.
Hmm.
Um, and we just hate the tube. It's so unpleasant. It's really efficient. It works really well. It gets you places really quickly, but it's just not the most pleasant thing to
Mm.
do.
Yeah,
Um,
I guess so claustrophobic. I couldn't imagine trying to do that
oh,
every day,
especially
twice a
at
day.
peak hour and the trains are full.
Yeah, no,
Um,
not for me.
no.
Yeah, yeah. So it's a blessing that he is able to be home and not having
Yeah,
to
exactly.
do all the traveling. Yeah. So full on all the time. But is there anything that you're able to do, or do you find you're able to just find moments for something for you?
Um, well, I've I love baking, so I've been able
Hmm.
to do a little bit of that. Um, even when Eli was 4 months old, I made my own birthday cake. But I just that it was quite like a thing because like I took 1 week window and I measured the ingredients and we had an app. And I took 1 week window and I like mixed the thing and like put the cake in the bake. Then I took another week window and I made the icing. Then I took the next week
Yeah.
window and then like iced the cake. So it's not like a straightforward process. And you never know, like, are they going to be okay playing by themselves the whole time I'm busy doing this?
Mm.
Um,
Yeah.
or am I going to get 5 minutes in and then they're going to be like, no, actually, I want you.
Yeah.
Um,
Wow. So the carefully calculated thing,
exactly.
but you were able to make yourself a cake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I do get a bit of
I could
baking
just
in,
picture that.
um, here and there. And then, it's really nice here. The libraries have, an like online portal, of
Okay.
ebooks and audiobooks.
Oh, that's
And
cool.
so, got back into reading a bit, which is nice because I can do that while he's
Mm.
sleeping, even if he's contact napping.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
which is really nice. Um,
Mm. That's
yeah,
cool. And I know you love reading and
yeah,
you
yeah, yeah,
love baking. So,
yeah,
yeah, that's cool that you've been able to at least do a little bit of that here and then.
yeah.
And obviously, there's so much change happening all the time, but in terms of, I don't know, how you are structuring things or what you're trying to do with your time, is there anything that you want to be different about this season and about what you're navigating? Something you feel like you have the power to change?
I think I don't know if I change anything right now, but like in this
Okay.
current time, but in the near future, as in the end of the month, I'm going back to work. Um,
Okay.
so
Yes.
um, I would love to not. That would be
Hmm.
ideal, but
Mm.
that's not feasible at the moment. And
Yeah.
so there are like it is gonna be tricky going back.
Mm.
I get to take Eli with me, which is nice. Um,
Okay. That's helpful.
and I only do half days, so that also makes a difference. I can still do the groups and stuff in the morning. Um,
Still be working in the afternoon.
yeah.
Okay.
So, and it's the same child I've been with, so there's lots of similarities and easy ins. Um,
Mm.
but I'd love to have more um flexibility and more control of what I do, basically.
Okay. Yeah.
And so I have been looking into doing more flexible working kind of things from
Like
probably early next
remote
year.
online stuff. Yeah.
Um, or not even online. So here you can become what's called a childminder.
Hmm.
And so, you have children dropped off at your house. And then your house is like,
Okay.
I don't
Like
know,
a little
it's not a school,
daycare.
but it's,
No.
yeah, and it's like like a handful of kids. There'll be like
Okay.
two, three, four. So it's not even like school sized.
Yeah.
But you're looking after
Like a
them during
small
the
group.
day.
Yeah.
Um, it's like an in between a nanny and sending them to school, basically.
Okay.
Um, so that'd be really
That's
nice
cool.
because then I could keep Eli with me and he
Mm.
can have some socialization, still bring in some money,
Yeah. Yeah. You'd be
use my
so good
teaching
at that.
background. So
Yeah.
that would all be really cool. I could start a like franchise, for
Mm.
like some baby classy things. There's lots of option,
Potential there. Yeah.
yeah, but
That's cool. So
yeah,
you like turn part of the house into the play space and
yeah, basically.
like coordinated,
Um,
structured thing.
yeah, but a lot of the stuff needs planning and to be thought through a little bit
Yeah.
more. So I
Yeah.
just need to kind
Mm.
of stick out with what I have. Um,
Mm. But yeah, exciting. Would you have to do a lot of like courses or anything to prepare for that? Or
I don't think so. I think maybe there's like a handful of things, and like I need to redo my first aid again, um,
okay, right.
things like that.
Mm.
but because of my qualifications, because I'm qualified to teach already and have
Yeah,
all my UK checks and stuff, it wouldn't be um, as much course work
that's
kind of
cool.
thing. Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll see what
I
the
mean that'll
future
be
holds, but for
exciting.
now,
And how do you feel about? I mean, it's great that you could take him with, but how do you feel about like working with the other kid and also Eli there?
um, well, uh, the boy that I nanny, he really loves Eli. He calls him Elijah. It's very cute. Um, and
So they already have like a bit of a bond.
yeah, so we've been meeting up on and off since
Mm.
Eli was born, just to kind of for us to keep in touch, but also so that he can kind of get used to Eli. Um,
Yeah.
and so they do know each other, and
Mm.
um, yeah, I'm a bit worried about how it'll kind of be because they're
Mm.
both used to having all my attention in different
Yeah.
like stages of time.
Mm.
And the Brian Annie is an only child, so he's
Right.
not used to sharing anyone's attention except at
Yeah.
school.
Okay.
But this isn't at school; it's at his house.
Did it at home?
Um,
Yeah.
so we'll see how they adjust to each other. But I think it'll be good for
Mm.
both of them to have someone else to play with. Um,
Yeah.
and it's really a kind of wait and see of how it's going to be because
Yeah.
I can't predict what it's going to be like at all
Mm.
because I have no
Yeah.
idea because children are so
Hmm.
unpredictable.
Yeah. And it's exact the same with like coming into being parents.
I
You
just
you
don't know.
think, but you don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay, so they'll be starting in September.
No, just before like the last few days of August. Yeah.
I mean, I'm glad you'll be able to still do your like go to the classes and the sensory
Mm.
mornings and that kind of thing, so you can at least keep that kind of connection with other moms.
Yeah. I think that'll be really important as well because um going to work um unless I have like a play date or something, I'll just be with children the whole time.
Yeah,
And
yeah. So having
you need
being able to
some
have an adult conversation
exactly.
that, yeah,
Especially
yeah,
because Eli
it's
can't
crazy
talk.
what it can
It's
do.
like you're talking to yourself the whole day, basically.
Yeah, it's a wonder moms aren't like more insane than we are.
Yeah.
Like not having sleep and mom brain because of all the hormones, and then also around kids who like can't have adult conversation with. How are we sane? I don't know.
Yeah, I have no idea.
What do you love about being a mom? I know it's been on your heart to be a mom for a long time, and
Yeah.
you worked for kids for a long time, but now you have your own.
Um, there's a couple things that I can kind of think of, but
Hmm.
um, the one is that because I've worked for kids for so long, it's nice having the control of um what philosophy I'm going to use, what I'm going to do with them, what I'm
Hmm.
not going to do with them, like now with what I'm going to feed him, what I'm not going to feed him. Um, it's nice that I obviously agree with everything I'm doing, so I don't have to do something that I'm like iffy about.
Mm.
Um,
Not following some other parents'
yeah,
instructions of what they
exactly.
want. Yeah.
Um, but it's just a different kind of love that you have. Um,
Mm.
like of when you look after children that are so small and you're with them all day, every day, basically, they do become kind of like your children. If that,
Mm. Yeah, I'm sure
but
you get like attached.
yeah, and they get attached to you because that's just what happens. And
Mm.
yeah, but it's a different kind, and it's so cool seeing parts of you in this other little being and watching them discover things for the first time and just seeing how they're interacting with the world. And yeah, it's really
Mm.
exciting to see how he's growing and figuring
A
out.
little person you made.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
crazy.
exactly. Um, and just watching him with Mike as well, and Mike with him, like
Mm.
just you got your little family
Yeah,
together.
that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Roller coaster ride on it together.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Kind of, so you're 8 months in, if you don't want to like tell people too much coming into this, but you know, advice can be helpful.
Yeah.
Um, what so of all the things you've learned in such a short space of time this year, yeah, what would you advise like new parents who are just coming into this, or a woman who's just found out she's pregnant and has this life journey ahead of them? What would your nugget of wisdom be?
I say trust your instincts. Like it's
Hmm.
your baby and you're the only one that knows what your baby needs. Um, like if you think your baby needs more sleep and doesn't need, I don't know, um, a certain thing, then
Yeah.
go with your gut because
Mm.
you're the one spending all the time with your baby. You're the one who knows what they need. Who cares
Yeah.
what other people say? As long as you're looking
Hmm.
after your baby's loved and safe. Um,
That's all you can do. Mm. Yeah, that's good. That's helpful, I think. But I don't know about you, but like I would probably say the same thing, but at the same time, you also are like, I don't know what I'm doing. Like I'm
yes.
following my gut, but is my gut right? Like,
Yeah, yeah. There's always the 3 a.m. Google search. No matter how
yeah, oh,
how
of course.
experienced you are, if you've done it before, like
Yeah.
first time mom, second time mom, you always have that 3 a.m. Google search. You're like, is this
Mhm.
normal? Like, is anyone
Yeah.
else's baby doing this?
Yeah, but I mean, there's no one size fits all approach, and our
Exactly.
kids are unique. And yeah, as you said, we know our kids best. We're around them and
Yeah.
just need to go with it. And I guess also it's helpful then if something isn't working, you just change your approach. It's not like we haven't messed our kids up if the sleep schedule's a bit weird.
Yeah.
But I know it's hard. It's hard not to stress about those things.
Yeah. I think at the same time as trusting yourself, you have to also be okay with asking for help because
Mm,
if you just sit there umming and ahhing or Googling and it can at the same time then be super unhelpful. Um,
mm, yeah,
because
definitely.
you could be doing something and be like, oh, I'm not doing the right thing, and just asking someone if that's like okay or if that's what I should be
Mm,
doing. More often than not, it's fine, but
yeah,
just asking for
yeah,
help.
just having that sounding board, or
Yeah.
just like, how's this sound? Or even just hearing their perspective of how it's different for them.
Eli's woken up, so he's staring at me. Goes so quickly.
Yeah, it does. It feels so long, but it also just goes by so fast.
Yeah. We get this toy subscription. And in the first one there was a mug and it said the days are long but the years are short.
Mm,
And I always think that's so apt. That's just exactly
totally,
how
yeah.
it feels.
That is exactly how it feels, yeah.
And like in just under 4 months he'll be one.
Yeah.
Nuts.
Hmm. Yeah. I mean, it's been so cool to chat and catch up. It honestly has been way too long. And it's so amazing to see how far you've come, and you're crushing this mom thing and doing it without the family support. I really commend you guys and making it work.
Yeah. It's like bittersweet. I know all the stages that are coming. I'll just enjoy what's now.
True, yeah. I mean, I'm kind of just winging it and seeing what happens, but you kind of see,
Yeah.
what's ahead.
Like the no phase
Yeah,
is
I didn't think
coming,
about that.
the
That's an interesting
tantrums are
perspective.
coming, the
Yeah, that's where we are now. Lots of big feelings.
oh,
The terrible twos definitely start before they two, that's for sure.
oh yeah.
But anyway, I am aware of time, but it's been so cool to chat. Let's
Yeah,
do it more regularly, please.
definitely.
Yeah, hope we'll chat soon, and thanks for your time and chatting to
Oh,
me here.
no problem.
And that's that for my conversation with Simone. Yeah, it was really good to connect with her and catch up. It's so hard, but I feel like it's so important to find moments to keep friendships alive, even though we are moms and busy and time is short. Yeah, connection is important, and I'm glad I was able to find a gap to connect with her. I know we all say this, but time really does go by so quickly. I feel like my daughter was just starting to be mobile, 8 months, discovering the world, starting to enjoy solids. Feels like it was just the other day, but she's 19 months, so it really, really can go by quickly. But that's definitely not to diminish how hard it can be, and particularly in the case of not having a big support system. Yes, it takes a village, but not everyone has a village, and I'm mindful of that. And I think, if anything, it just makes me appreciate the kind of family setup that we have here more than I have previously. So that was kind of my takeaway from this conversation. But yeah, I hope that something resonated with you and that you enjoyed it. As I said before, I'm around to chat, and yeah, I hope that you have a great week, and we will touch base next week. Bye!